The trigger bites are starting to itch again. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Yo, look at this. Apparently a raccoon has been scratching around here. I wonder if it thought there was food inside or something. Oh my God, the trigger bites. Oh good Lord. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? It itches. As soon as I started sweating, all the itchiness came back. It left me for a little bit. Oh God. I just finished the first pass on a work video that I'm doing, and I started to talk about it yesterday, but I totally forgot to finish it, which is watchability. A couple of thoughts that come to mind. First thing is, editing videos actually what takes the most time is just looking through what you have and deciding what's actually worth keeping. The actual editing and timing and like creativity, for me, that's always like the easiest part because the music does the heavy lifting. The music tells you what to do. So my job as an editor is to find everything that we filmed that either strengthens what we're trying to say in the video or makes the video more entertaining or more watchable. There's this thing called the Wadsworth constant, which is that you can skip the first 30% of any YouTube video to get to what you actually want to see. If anybody skips ahead any of the videos that I make, I consider that a failing on my editing job. There's times where I'm like self-indulgent and I'm like, okay, I don't care if you skip the first 30 seconds because I really want to put this in here. But for the most part, get to the point right away and start hammering home what you're trying to say. How many times have you watched a YouTube tutorial and they take about 2 minutes to actually get to the start of the tutorial? I don't know why we always have this tendency when we make videos that we think we need to have an intro and like explain everything beforehand. No, the explanation is the title of the video. Just go. Now, what I always try to do, and I have varying levels of success, is to make every part of the video watchable. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is what you're watching worth watching? Now, the things that I say, like in this vlog in particular, I don't know if they're gonna be entertaining to you or not, or worth hearing for you or not, but what I always use is my own self as a litmus test of whether this is worthy of being in the video or not. If I enjoy talking about it, then chances are at least somebody will enjoy listening to it. Now, obviously, in any creative endeavor, you never know if somebody's gonna actually enjoy it, and that's the big risk when you make anything creative. But during that editing process, every clip that you put in there, every second that's in there, it's like I ask myself, why am I putting this in specifically? If you don't always have that question in your head, then you'll put things in that are just boring to watch, that aren't even entertaining you. It's just something you filmed, so you're like, oh, I might as well put it in. What I strive for in my videos is to always make them one step ahead of attention spans, which that doesn't necessarily mean brevity, because I think the Adventure Archives videos, they're really long, but somehow they're still able to capture your attention, even though I don't know why exactly. And there's this saying that content is king, and I agree with that, but at the same time, if something is shaky and bad video quality, you're never gonna stay engaged with it unless it's the actual content is just that amazing. Like an example would be news footage of crazy events that happened. Even if it's filmed really poorly, you'll still wanna watch it. But I think something like watching somebody do the dishes every day, that has to be presented and filmed in a pleasing manner, or who's gonna watch that? Like, if I just filmed this with the worst camera possible and I was doing just shaky handheld shots all the time, I wouldn't wanna watch that. I wouldn't even wanna make that. Okay, well, I think I'm kind of rambling at this point, but in summation, watchability of videos just is everything that I've included contributing to the video itself. Actually, one last thought. I consider the biggest form of failure in any video that I've made if somebody has to do something other than click play and then hit full screen. If they want to skip around because I've
dawdled too much on one subject or had this long intro that nobody wants to watch, I've done a bad job. Unless it's some sort of video that has a table of contents. And like, I feel like that's like a crazy thing, right? Why should anybody have to do anything other than press play? You can edit the video ahead of time. Anyways, I hope some of that made sense. It made sense in my head, but then as soon as I started talking about it, I'm not sure that it actually does make that much sense. But that's gonna do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Speaking of unwatchable videos, this was probably one of them. Ironic how that works. I'll see you tomorrow.